Hey, good morning. My name is Janet, and I hope that God has continued to protect you, to keep you safe, and that you are blessed. So, today we are going to be reading Amos chapter 2. And yesterday, or the previous day, was it yesterday or the previous day? Yeah, we read Amos chapter 1. Let's continue with chapter 2. And for 3 transgressions of Moab, and for 4, I will not turn away its punishment. This is Amos prophesying. For 3 transgressions of Moab, and for 4, I will not turn away its punishment, because he burned the bones of the king of Edom to lime. Because he burned the bones of the king of Edom to lime. But I'll send a fire upon Moab. But I will send a fire upon Moab, and it shall devour the palaces of Kerioth. Moab shall die with tumult, with shouting and trumpet sound. That is how Moab shall die. Hey, oh God. And I will cut off the judge from its midst. I will cut off the judge from its midst, and slay all its princes with him, says the Lord. This is the Lord who is saying all these things. He's annoyed with Moab, because Moab has done those things that you have heard. And when God is annoyed, he talks. And like Ammon, Moab, southeast of Israel, was descended from one of the sons of Lot. You remember, Moab was a descendant of one of the sons of Lot. And this act of burning the bones was believed to discredit the remains of a deceased person, to desecrate the remains of a deceased person. And this is what Moab did. A heinous act in ancient times, and a great dishonor to the person's memory. Moab burnt the bones of Edom. The king of Edom burnt them to lime. So it was a great dishonor to the person's memory. And we are going to be seeing what this Kerioth. But I'll set a fire upon Moab, and it shall devour the places of Kerioth. Moab shall die in turmoil. And what is Kerioth? Kerioth was a major town of Moab. It was the site of a temple of Chemosh, Moab's national god. Oh, it was a major town. Kerioth was a major town in Moab. And a site of a temple that was of Chemosh, which was a national god, a god with a small g. So God says that he shall slay all its princes, and with him God will do that. So let's see the judgment of Judah. Thus says the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Judah, and for 4, I will not turn away its punishment, because they have despised the law of the Lord, and have not kept his commandments. Their lies lead them astray. Their lies lead them astray, lies which their fathers followed. But I'll set a fire upon Judah, and it shall devour the palaces of Jerusalem. So it is upon Judah now again that God is saying he'll set fire. You know, Judah was Israel's neighbor to the south. Judah was Israel's neighbor to the south. And Israel and Judah shared a common heritage, a common language, and a common faith. Israel and Judah. And a common covenant with God. So, when God says that he will destroy, or the law of the Lord, the judgment was different from that of the nations Amos had just called to account before them. Judah and Israel had received God's special revelation at Sinai. They were in a special covenant relationship with him, and were held to a higher standard of accountability. So, you have heard how they were held to a higher account. to a higher standard of accountability. That is Israel and Judah. So let us continue reading, and this will go to verse number 6. That says the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Israel, and for 4, I will not turn away its punishment, because they sell the righteous, they sell the righteous for silver, and the poor for a pair of sandals. They pant after the dust of the earth, which is on the head of the poor, and pervert the way of the humble. So slave trade was there. A man and his father go into the same girl. Oh my God! To defile my holy name. That is what they were doing. They were that rotten. A man and a son would sleep with one girl. They were that rotten. And this sin God doesn't like. A man and his father go into the same girl to defile my holy name. Hey, this is serious. Now, Amos used deliberate exaggeration to portray the greed of those oppressing the poor, not satisfied with gaining their victims' farms and selling the people into slavery for money. The greedy rich would not let the poor go until they had shaken the very dust from their heads. The humble, those without power or influence, should have been able to depend on the justice due them. Instead, justice was denied them. You can see how bad that community was. As a result, their life was turned to poverty, oppression, and insecurity. This thing of a man and a son going into the same girl, it means to have sexual intercourse with the same girl. Several possibilities have been suggested. Both father and son visited the same temple, the same temple prostitute in their worship of pagan gods. A man bought a slave girl, made her his concubine, then gave his son sexual rights to her. Did you hear that, guys? That a man would, a second alternative would, the first alternative of them going into the same girl, the first elaboration is that a father and son visited the same temple prostitute in their worship of pagan gods. You know, they were worshiping pagan gods. But the second explanation is that a man would buy a slave girl, make her his concubine, and then give his son sexual rights to her. You see? Then allow the son to sleep with the same girl. Let's see the third analysis. A man married a woman, his father seduced her, and they became lovers. All of these practices were unlawful. You can see how rotten that community was, and God was unhappy with them. They lie down by every altar on clothes taken in pledge. They lie down by every altar on clothes taken in pledge, and drink the wine of the condemned in the house of their God with a small g. They do all that. How sad. Yet it was I who destroyed the Amorite before them. I, God, destroyed the Amorites before these people, yet they don't learn. What can we do? What can human race, what lessons can human race, what lessons can they be taught in order for them to learn? That is what God is asking. It was I who destroyed the Amorites before their own eyes, yet they don't learn. Whose height was like the height of the cedars? Or he destroyed the Amorites, whose height was like the height of the cedars. Amorites were very, very strong community, yet they were destroyed. And he was as strong as the oaks, yet I destroyed his fruits above and his roots beneath. That is what God is talking about the Amorites. As strong as they were, he still destroyed them. Also, it was I who brought you up from the land of Egypt and bred you 40 years through the wilderness. He is reminding them. We, the human race, forget very, very fast. For 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of the Amorite. And I destroyed them for you. Yet you have forgotten and gone to gods with a small g. This is God now. I raised up some of your sons as prophets, and some of your young men as Nazirites. Is it not so, O you children of Israel? Says the Lord. Our God is annoyed. You have pissed off our God. You have forgotten what he has done to you. But you gave the Nazirites wine to drink and commanded the prophets, saying, do not prophesy, you the Israelites. How sad. Behold, I am weighed down by you, as a cart full of sheaves is weighed down. I'm tired of you, tired of you. Therefore, flight shall perish from the swift. The strong shall not strengthen his power, nor shall the mighty deliver himself. That's what I'll do to you. He shall not stand who handles the bow. He shall not stand who handles the bow. The swift of foot shall not escape. When God's wrath falls upon you, you will not even escape when wrath comes after you. Nor shall he who rides a horse deliver himself, even the one who rides a horse. When God's wrath is on you, even if you try to go as fast as what, he'll catch up with you. The most courageous men of might shall flee naked in that day, says the Lord. What a curse when we go against the ways of God and we forget what our God has done for us there before. The Israelites forgot that God had destroyed the Amorites for them in order to enter their land. And now they went ahead and worshipped other gods. They slept with, they committed the sins of immorality and infidelity, and God was not impressed. May God help us to walk in his ways and to do what he likes. That is Amos who prophesied to the Israelites in Judah, and may God help us. Please subscribe to the channel, share the video so that it may help us to reach many people. Give the video a like, and we'll see you in the next one.